welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I promised I was going to be more consistent, and I am following through with that promise. So today we have another video, but this time it's on advice that I'd give to college freshmen, specifically coming into William & Mary, and then towards the end of the video it's more general college advice. So even if you're not recently committed to the College of William & Mary, still watch this video because I think you'll find some useful information. So first I wanted to get started with William & Mary specific advice, because coming into college for me, I was so overwhelmed. I was like, I don't know what is going on. I'm one of the first people in my family to go away to school. This is a big thing for me. This was a big thing for my family, and I was really overwhelmed about all the information that I didn't know, because I didn't know so much more than I knew, if that makes any sense. Starting off with number one, email your professors. They are there to help. They are there to help you learn. So many professors here at William & Mary really want you to engross yourself in the material and truly understand what's going on. So shoot them an email if you have a question about anything. There are a handful of professors who care more about the research than they do with the teaching, I'm going to put it that way. But they're so few and far between that most of your professors are going to be so willing to help. You email them a question about formatting if it's something to do with a paper, or email them an extraneous question about, something related to the content. They're there to help you. And that also creates a little bit of a relationship with your professors, which kind of goes on to my next point of create a relationship with your professors. Whether it's just an email thing, at least they get to see your name in their inbox. Go to their office hours if you can. You don't even have to have like a relevant question on homework or something. You just go, you talk to them, create a little bit of a relationship with them. If your name sticks out to them, they'll remember you. And you never know if you're going to need their help in the future with something to do with research, if you major in their department and you want them to be your advisor. It's always a good thing to create a good relationship with professors right off the bat freshman year. Next, and this has to do with the COLL curriculum here on campus. Throughout the summer, you're going to be learning about it with your peer advisors, and over orientation, they're going to go really in depth about the COLL curriculum here. All the COLL classes that you have to take, there's COLL 100, COLL 150, there's 3 COLL 200s you have to take. Take interesting classes that you would have never taken otherwise. Taking random COLL classes is a good opportunity to learn random things. For example, my roommate is taking a Monsters Inside Us class, and it's a super interesting class. It's a COLL 150, and otherwise she would have never taken that because it wouldn't have counted toward anything, and it would have kind of been wasted credits. Not that I think learning ever goes to waste, but when you're spending money on them, you kind of want to be wise about your class choices. So because it is a graduation requirement, it does count towards something. Take a Monsters Inside Us class. My COLL 150 class right now is law and film. I'm taking COLL 200 classes that has to do with religion, and I'm an international relations major and economics minor, so religion has nothing to do with what I'm doing, but I find it to be so interesting, and I'm taking advantage of the fact that it is a graduation requirement to branch out in these different areas. They have sports COLL classes, like anime COLL classes. They really have anything you could think of, so we can learn about things we otherwise wouldn't have. Another piece of advice is the Writing Resources Center here on campus is a godsend. Coming into college, I'm not the best writer, and my high school never really emphasized writing papers, so I was kind of lost coming into college, and the expectations at William & Mary are super high, even for incoming freshmen, so I was incredibly overwhelmed when I was writing my first research paper. I went to the Writing Resources Center. They did not write a single thing for me. They just helped me outline my paper with the sources that I needed and the ideas that I wanted to highlight within my paper, and essentially it wrote itself. So when in doubt, please schedule a meeting at the Writing Resources Center. Whether you're starting with a blank canvas, you have the entire thing written already, or you're somewhere in between, the Writing Resources Center is there to help, and they're amazing people, so kind, so willing to help. Please do it. A flaw of William & Mary is that registration never works. Ever. And you know what? Coming into school, I didn't know that. Would that have changed my decision now that I know that? Absolutely not. But just, it's going to be stressful. I don't know how else to put it for you. You're not going to get the classes that you want, and if you do, you're like 1 in a million, because the way they set up their registration classes is a mess. But I'm not here to harp on William and Mary. I'm here to give you advice. So my advice is that do not stress out about picking classes if you don't get the classes that you want, because everything will work out. I speak from experience because when I registered for my fall semester of classes last semester, the registration site, it's called Banner, crashed, and it continued to crash, and I could not register for classes, so I had to sign up for all of my classes the day before classes started. It was really stressful, but it all worked out in the end. I got every single class that I took counted towards a graduation requirement, even though it wasn't my major requirement, which also I didn't know my major, so irrelevant. But so if you sign up for classes that don't go toward your major requirement, do not stress out about it. It all works out in the end. It's going to be a stressful moment doing it in the afternoon with your orientation aides right by your side, but don't cry about it like I did. I called my mom on the phone and I started screaming at her in front of my entire dorm of people that I met like 2 days ago, and they still bring it up to this day because they like to say that I went Jersey, but I was just angry and I was like, are you kidding me? The class, you know, don't do that. Just zen moment, and just know that it'll all work out. Another piece of advice about classes is do not take an 8 a.m. class unless you absolutely have to. I don't care if you like to start your day early. I don't care if you think you can do it. You probably can for the first half of the semester, but then the second half of the semester, you can't. Especially if it's an everyday class. I know some language classes are only available at 8 a.m. every single morning, and if you have to, then you have to, but do everything in your power to avoid an 8 a.m. because you're gonna get tired. As the semester progresses, you're waking up every day at 8 a.m. You start to go to bed later. You're just exhausted. Then you come back after class and just spend the rest of your day napping. Taking an 8 a.m. is not conducive to the best, I'm going to say, mental health, even though it's not that drastic, it's not that serious. But waking up every day and being exhausted for the rest of the day for months at a time can be a lot on people, and it starts to drain them out. So just avoid 8 a.m.s as much as possible. Also, when you register for classes and you want to register for classes that have 10 minutes in between, just enough time to walk from building to building, Google Map where the buildings are, because this campus isn't that big, but it's big enough that if you have 10 minutes in between classes and you have a building here and then your other classes and then building over here, you're like halfway running, halfway walking, because you don't want to be that kid that runs to class, but you also don't want to be late. So you're out of breath and you're sweaty and you're stressed, and if you have an exam in one class and you're like running and like, I have an exam, and so Google Maps where it is. For example, when you are registering for classes that tells you the building name, just put building name Williamsburg, Virginia to building name Williamsburg, Virginia, put walking distance and see how far it is. If it's like a 12-minute walk, you can like speed walk a little bit and you'll be fine, but if it says 15-minute walk, try everything in your power not to take it unless you want to be half speed walking to class every single day stressed, because that's what I do, and I did it to myself, and you know what? I'm not doing that again. So, yeah. The last piece of advice I want to give about classes and picking classes and whatnot, because that is obviously a huge part of coming to college, is do not stress out about getting all of your major requirements done as soon as possible. As I mentioned before, last semester, none of the classes that I took counted towards a single major. They were just more of a graduation requirement, and that's okay. And I still have enough time to graduate on time with my major requirements and my minor requirements. If you're going to be an IR major like I am, don't stress out about taking your first semester all IR classes, your second semester all IR classes, to get them all fulfilled right away, because then your junior and senior year, you're kind of stuck with like, what kind of classes do I take? You know what I mean? So don't stress out about it. Don't overload your coursework with one subject, because that can also be incredibly draining, and you might start to hate it because that's the only thing that you're doing. So mix it around a little bit. Don't stress about fulfilling all your major requirements, and you might even change your major. So just take it one semester at a time, making sure that you're just getting good grades at the end of the day. Next, here at William and Mary, classes are far. Okay, we don't have the biggest campus at all, but you still walk all the time. My notes for this literally say, expect to walk, classes are far as heck. Get a good pair of sneakers, have a water bottle, please. This thing is my baby. My friends and I, all of us, have some type of water bottle because you're walking all the time. You're going to need hydration. Hydrate or dihydrate. And sunglasses, a hat, something. You're going to be outside a lot. Rain boots, umbrella. Just be prepared to walk is my point. Now towards my final pieces of advice for incoming freshmen is a Zipcar. So Zipcar is this app that you can use. You can rent out cars per hour. So it's about $10 to $12 per hour, and it's an annual fee, I think, of $25 for students, which is nothing. If you're over 18, you have a license, that's all you need to have a Zipcar. And Zipcar gives you that comfort of knowing you can leave campus if a car is available. If anything happens, it's there, because as freshmen, you're not really allowed to have a car on campus. It's super helpful when you want to go somewhere with your friends. If you want to go to the beach or something, you just pile all your friends in the car, legally of course, and split the costs. Zipcar pays for the gas, you don't have to worry about the gas bill. Overall, Zipcar is just an amazing resource to have and to know about. My mom told me about it, otherwise I would have no idea that that was a thing. So I strongly recommend downloading it and getting it, because you never know when you're going to need it. Next, this isn't as important, but I really suggest having a phone wallet. You can see mine here with my tribe card right over here. This thing is a miracle. I love it. I had my first semester, I didn't have a phone wallet. And do you know how annoying that was? I put my ID like behind my phone case, so I would always have to like take my tribe card in and out of my phone case. Or I would have to carry my wallet around everywhere in addition to my phone. So when you go to the dining hall and you don't have your backpack on or anything, you're gonna have to have your wallet and your phone. It's just so much more convenient to have this phone wallet. Any type of phone wallet, please get one. I could not suggest this enough. And Livia, you too, you get one. My roommate doesn't have one. And she's like, I don't have my tribe card. Well, yeah, you don't have a phone wallet. Phone wallet. Last but not least, for if you're an incoming William & Mary freshman moving in this fall, avoid the package line for as long as possible. Because moving in, especially from people out of state, you forget something, you realize you don't have something, you order on Amazon, you call it a day, I'll pick it up. No, don't do that. Try and remember everything and think ahead, please, because that package line is ridiculous the first few weeks of the semester. No matter what, no matter if you get there at 8 a.m. when it opens, if you're there at some odd hours throughout the day, the line wraps around the building. It takes, one time I waited in line for 45 minutes and then left, because I was like, I'm not waiting any longer, and I still wasn't even near the front of the line. It gets so packed because everybody's doing the same thing that you're doing, so think ahead. I know it's hard, so just try and remember everything. I know it's impossible to say, but or just avoid the package line for the first 3 weeks to a month, because everybody's doing that. Everybody forgot something. So yeah. Okay, so that was all that I had for advice for you guys that are coming into school, and kind of the things that I learned throughout the way. And to change things up a bit, because I know I could blab on for hours about random things, I wanted to hand things off to some of my closest friends and people whose thoughts and opinions I truly value, and they're going to give you guys their 2 cents on coming to school for the first time. So enjoy! She moved in this dress. Can we just start with that?
It was a terrible dress.
She carried all of this stuff up 3 flights of stairs in this dress.
It was terrible because I flashed everyone, because this dress is a child's medium from Target. So I literally flashed.
Oh, a child's medium?
It's terrible.
Oh,
they didn't have a large. I don't know. Anyway.
So introduce yourself, Livia.
Okay, well, I'm Livia Martinez. I am a freshman at William & Mary. I'm her roommate. And let me think. So what clubs am I involved in?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm the digital editor of Rocket Magazine, which is like the fashion magazine on campus. I am a radio DJ, which I'm actually going to go do a DJ set in a few hours, which is really fun. And I do other things, but now I can't remember any of them. But I do a lot of stuff around campus, and it's really fun, because even though I'm not in a sorority, I still find things to do. Yeah.
Alright, so if you were to give advice to an incoming college student, what would you say?
I did not think of an answer before this. Okay.
I asked you the question before, so you can have an answer. I asked you.
I wasn't thinking. So, advice. Oh, okay, I know. Don't have FOMO. Delete Snapchat. I think that's so important. I came to college and I deleted Snapchat before I came. if you don't have Snap, you're not gonna feel like you're missing out.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't feel like you're missing out. There are a lot of times where I don't feel like going out. All of us have been, there have been times where we're like, I'm too tired, I'm just gonna chill in my bed on a Friday night or whatever. And I don't regret that, but I also don't regret going out sometimes, you know? It like depends. So I think trying your best not to have FOMO, because I can't emphasize enough, like, you're not gonna miss out, like, lifelong memories if you don't go out one night. You will be fine. You don't have to go out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like,
every single week.
Yeah, no, that's not good for your body either, or your academics. So, just don't have FOMO, please. Please.
And what are some tips besides deleting Snapchat?
Stop, you can't say that, though. You don't even, you have Snapchat.
I do have Snapchat, but I regret downloading Snapchat, and my Snap score is literally 1,000, okay? So, let's not, I barely use it anyways.
Okay, some other tips I have is make sure, even if you do spend a night in, like, try to hang out with people. Like, at least in our dorm, we have a lounge, so it's, like, really nice to go down there, even if you're just gonna fill up your water bottle or something and talk to people, because you will feel kind of lonely sometimes when you're like, where are my friends? But it's fine. You'll be fine.
FOMO is so real, and
stinks.
it's just one of those things where it's like, at the end of the day, honestly, who cares?
Yep, literally. Okay, bye guys.
Bye!
Your roses, if you cut off the thorn.
Alright, hi. This is Abby.
Hello.
Abby, you could go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Abby. I live down the hall from Alexis. That's how we know each other.
Yes.
Some things I do here on campus are I'm part of a social sorority, Kappa Alpha Theta. I am on the Point Blank Dance Company. And there are a few other clubs that I'm like on the email list for but don't always go. But
Yeah, fair enough. I feel like we're all on random clubs.
Yeah.
Show off too. So, if you were to give a college freshman any piece of advice, somebody you don't know, and just to give them one thing that they would take forever, what would it be?
okay, so I think this is very applicable here particularly, but anywhere, is just know how to balance out your whole entire life in terms of academic and social obligations. I know at some other schools it's very easy to get like into the party scene and only focus on that, whereas like here I feel like it's more academically vigorous, and a lot of students really want to do well and like isolate themselves in their dorms and like don't have enough social interactions. But if you find a good balance of all of that, like you will be so happy.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Abby.
You're welcome. I love you
too. Okay. Alright, so now we have Rachel. Miss Rachel, take it away.
My name's Rachel. I'm a freshman at William & Mary. I'm in a social sorority, and I'm in a couple of clubs here. And yeah, I like to hang out with my friends, play guitar, chill.
Yeah. Okay, so Rachel, if you were to give advice to an incoming freshman, what would it be?
Okay. So I wrote down notes because
She's a prepared queen.
yeah, I'm very queen.
Yes.
I'm also like very scatterbrained. So my advice would be, especially at the beginning of the year, to stay out of your dorm and don't be isolated in your dorm, because I know it's kind of scary being new in a new place, but at the beginning of the year, if you want to make friends, stay out of your dorm. There's so much to do on a college campus, especially for freshmen. There's so much to explore, so don't be afraid to join clubs. If you were in a sport in high school, join the intramural team.
Or the club team, even.
Yeah.
I'm in the club
Even
tennis
if you're
team.
not good, like, go for the funsies. Like, I'm not good at tennis, but I joined the tennis team just to play and have fun. But go to like the school run events. They might seem like cheesy or boring, but on the weekends, if you don't really have anything to do, go to the school events. And even when it comes to like going to get food or doing homework, don't stay in your dorm and like make your own food or do your homework in your dorm. Go to the library or go to the dining hall, because you'll be sitting with like a friend, and they'll invite a friend over, and they'll invite a friend over, and there you go. You're talking to more people, and you'd be surprised how many like good conversations you can have at the library. You might not be getting work done, but if you want to make friends.
And I would say leaving the dorm to do anything gives you a change of scenery.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're stuck in your room and only in your room eating and all that in your room, it can hurt the mental health.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can just have so many good conversations outside of your dorm, so stay out, especially at the beginning of the year. With that being said, once you're like in the swing of things, I would say that you gotta get comfortable being alone sometimes, because it's okay to eat by yourself in the cafeteria. It's okay to go to the library by yourself. You're not gonna have the same schedule as all your friends, so you gotta be comfortable also being alone. And yeah.
That's actually so good. That's actually a huge thing, is being alone. It's a lot of independence, and it's okay to have your time to think to yourself.
Yeah. And no one's gonna judge you. Like, no one's gonna be like, oh, they're eating alone by the cafeteria, they're such a loser. Like, no one was really caring. Also, going to the gym, you can do that by yourself. I was scared to go to the gym by myself.
Yeah.
I always used to bring my roommate, but now I can go by myself, and like, you just gotta think that no one is really paying attention to you. They're always focused on themselves. So
Yeah, and when engrossing yourself with other people all the time at the library, eating meals with other people, you need time to think to yourself.
exactly.
Or else you're kind of just going to get knocked into the motion of everything and never have time to sit back and reflect on your own decisions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Rachel, that was so good. Thank you so much for your advice. It's
Of course.
true, real good advice, so thank you.
Of course.
Shout out
Glad
to
to be on
Rachel.
it. An
Follow her on
honor.
Instagram.
Of course.
And yeah, all right. Yay!
Thanks.
I'm just so sick of being human, yeah.
All right, so now we have Oliver.
I'm Oliver. I'm a sophomore here. I started a company on campus called Inhuman.fit. Co-founded that. It's an athletic company that pushes the boundaries of like mental toughness. I'm also a CHAP, which is a conduct and honor advisor. Basically, we take people through like the conduct and honor kind of process when they violate one of those. So I'm pretty involved on campus, but I spend most of my time with my company. So.
Yes. Link in bio, or no, link in description, by the way.
Awesome.
I'll shout you out. You
Great.
got it?
I appreciate it.
Okay, so if you could give advice to an incoming freshman, no matter, like, it could be someone coming here, someone going anywhere, what would it be?
College is really short. It's really short, and so you got to take advantage of the time that you're given. And I think what I'd say is don't do anything that sets you back.
Okay.
Right? And so a lot of times people, they do a lot of stuff that really isn't valuable to them, and they essentially, they live for the weekend, they do stuff that really slows down their mental, they invest a lot of their time and a lot of their energy into things that don't matter and that don't build themselves up as individuals. Don't do any of that stuff. Do stuff that means something. Find your passion, find your purpose, and pursue that. That's what will bring you happiness, essentially, and a successful college career. So.
That was so good. What would you say to somebody who's found their passion but doesn't know where to start when it comes to kind of like fulfilling that?
Ooh, interesting. Ask around. See where there's a real need. If you have a passion and you want to fulfill that, you need to find your niche essentially, and you need to pursue it even further. There's always an extra step that you can take it. Especially if your passion is something like a problem that like people have, or something that needs fulfillment, figure out a way to just bring it to the next level and to do something with it. With Inhuman Fit or whatever, that's really my passion, and we help people that have like essentially just are a little bit lost and they need help finding their purpose, and we bring them purpose through the idea of like mental toughness and physical challenges. And originally it was just a group of people that started out that love to do insane physical challenges, and then we realized that more and more people were also passionate about the same things that we were passionate about, but maybe they didn't have their kind of physical ability to do the same stuff that we were doing. And so we just started expanding it, and we asked around, and we were like, what do you like, how can you also participate in the stuff that we love doing? And it slowly just started expanding into something that was more and more popular. And now we have like 40 members here at William & Mary. We have 30 members out at Alabama, and it's something that's really successful and has changed lives. And so ask around, see what other people think about your passion, how other people get involved, expand that net, stuff like that. If you do those things, it'll be successful, and you'll have a good time with it too. So.
All right. Thank you, Oliver.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay.
Signing off.
Thank you. Yeah, signing off. So that pretty much concludes all of the advice that I have to give to you guys that are coming into William & Mary or coming into college in general. And I really hope that this video helped you guys out and ease some of your worries or anxieties, or even answer some questions that you may have. It took me a little bit of time to compile the list of helpful advice that's not just like bring an extension cord like my last video. But so yeah, I just really hope you enjoyed it. And also my ex-roommate, so sad, / RA, but not really my RA, but she's living on my floor, Livia, made a super similar video to this where she gives even more specific advice and really just like about William & Mary in general. So if you're interested in that video, go check out her video. She has a lot of helpful tips and little life hacks and just general advice that you would find super helpful if you're going to William & Mary. And if this looks a little bit different, not only did I forget about the video, but I also forgot to film an outro, but I'm doing it now, and that's what matters. So cheers for me that I didn't completely forget about it. And yeah, so leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this channel. And also a little update on my life, I guess. I'm gonna be an OA. So if you're watching this video and you're an incoming freshman into William & Mary and you're living in Yates or Randolph, there is a high probability that I'm gonna be your OA. I don't wanna say the specific hall because I don't really know if I'm allowed to, but yeah, so when you're incoming into the fall, look for me in those neon green shirts because I will be there. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. Enjoy the rest of your summer and don't be too stressed about moving into college.